Welcome back, guys. We are going to be reacting to male loneliness. I was a little bit scared about this one because I think I'm going to get emotional. I know it's weird. Okay, so we reacted to female loneliness. For that one, I could laugh it off, right? I know how chick loneliness behaves, blah, 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 what it looks like, blah, blah. But for male loneliness, I feel like it's more intense. I feel like too much of society has kind of told dudes to punch it down and suck it up, and I hate that shit. It makes me really mad. So time for me to get really mad.
Are not okay. That's right, folks.
This is fair.
The men are not okay.
Man it
the
up.
Men
That
have
makes
no
me so
friends,
mad.
No girlfriend, no college.
Wait, no friends? I thought, okay, guys, from male memes, I learned that they make 3 friends and they hit the quota and then they keep those 3 friends for all of their life. Why is this? Why, guys? Which one is right? Epi isn't a girl, just a gamer. Thumbs or palms? Palms.
Education, no
if you
money,
know, you know.
Are breaking their legs and inserting metal rods into their bones.
Oh, that makes me so mad. Oh, that makes me so mad. I shit you not. I shit you not. Look me in the eyes. Look. Are you looking at me? I knew a girl who was dating someone that focused so hard on his height being slightly shorter that I think he went and did this. I think he went and did this. She was so fucking focused on it and she brought it up so many times that I'm pretty sure he went and did this. And she was like actually happy for him. And I'm like, this is fucked up. Okay, continue. Let me
to be a few inches
grow
taller,
up.
And listening to AI Batman help them overcome their pornography addictions.
You deserve real love.
Turns out the society that was built by and
Can I get a hey Shoe0nHead, can I get a link to okay.
Allegedly for men has indeed let them down. Now you might be thinking, oh look, another boo-hoo poor men video by Shoe0nHead. Yes!
Yeah!
And if you have a problem with that, tune into literally anything else.
Yay!
45% of women will be single and childless by 2030. But according to the media, this is a good thing. The she-economy is booming, as they say. And meanwhile, men being single is treated like this.
New study explains why some single men are having a hard time
Why is she
finding
looking
a new
like
partner.
that?
Some of the music that they listen to speaks very derogatory.
Right. Yeah, men, stop listening to that derogatory music. Then maybe you won't be single. I don't know, I think
That's
men and women being single and lonely
Word connection,
kind of shows there might
Garbo.
be
No problem, Camelias!
with society. Perhaps we should address this, not just wave it off as empowering or pathetic. According to several different articles, I love how that's my source, I read about it on the internet. This is linked to socioeconomic development, increased education, a shift towards white-collar jobs, and urbanization. Japan also has an issue with loneliness. In fact, they have a whole movement of people they call the hikikomori.
Hikikomori, yeah.
Did I say that right?
Hikikomori, close enough.
I don't care.
I ain't no fun. I don't live there.
Modern hermits, mostly young men who completely withdraw from society, secluding themselves in their rooms for months and years at a time. In 2010, there was an estimated 700,000 hikikomori in Japan, and today it's estimated to be about 1.55 million.
I wonder why
this
happens.
People aren't having babies, so Japan's population has been in a sharp
I feel like it's something that's more of like a trigger moment happens and or maybe gets reinforced and then Epi, have you never heard of hikikomori? I think I watched a couple documentaries on it, but like I think they have like a triggering event and it unfortunately happened. Oh, you've not? So basically it's just someone who lives at home and like as much as possible tries to not go out into society. It does sound sad and it is really sad. I think there is some groups that try to like hang out with the homies and kind of get them back accustomed to being in society and stuff. And it goes over some of the reasons of why she thinks. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, Maestridge! Welcome back, Maestridge!
2011. It's gotten so bad that
had terrific triggers and shut down from society for a super long time. Fair.
Japan even
Valid.
videos of live-action women staring into the camera to help the hikikomori learn to cope with eye contact.
Okay, that's gonna make me cry. That's gonna make me cry. Nope. Give me a minute. Okay.
Integrate them.
She's really cute.
Into society. So basically,
so maybe I'm crying because she's cute, but the idea of that makes me sad.
Further than Japan.
That make it kind of worse.
People, including myself,
no, I think it's like I think it's a thing that somewhere in their mind, they are scared of people. So I think someone looking at you adoringly would kind of help. Someone who is not going to say anything violent or do something that would trigger you, right? I think it would kind of almost like exposure therapy.
Blame this partially on the rise of social media and technology. R.I.P. to the king. Although technology makes things
I don't
easier,
know who that
it
is.
can also make us more
I live in a
atomized.
hole.
Why go to the mall when I can just tap, buy a new microphone, and
this
have it
is
shipped
true.
to me in a day?
This is true. I'm trying really hard to, like, I'm trying to be old school about things, right? I'm trying to buy from local shops, things like that. Like, I'm very tired of seeing places go out of business because of
friends when I can get all my social interaction I need from Twitter and streamers. Why go on dates and bother meeting women when I can
it goes both ways. It goes both ways. I get some social from you guys, okay? It's a win-win.
Instant dopamine,
I hate going out.
instant satisfaction, and hey,
it's good for me. Yeah, same.
When you could just have an AI girlfriend.
We're so fucked. We can't go against the VTubers and wait.
I'm convinced they've completely broken
Elvis
men's brains.
Presley?
Women on dating apps are picky.
Women
in general are picky, and
what?
I mean,
that's just
naturally
wild.
we are
This is true.
pickier. You know, we're the ones who carry the babies. At least for now. But on dating apps, you have to admit, it's a little insane.
That's terrifying.
It's safe to say that the commodification of love and the window shopping.
Fun fact, one of the most common requests in custom-made adult entertainment videos is the actress just looking into the camera and saying positive things like "you did enough."
Isn't that just like positive affirmation ASMR? Why can't people just, like, what is going on? Please remind, like, the people in your life, male, female, anyone, that they are enough and that they have done enough. Why is this so hard? Why is this so hard? What are we focusing on? And that's why I knew this one was gonna make me mad.
Of dating apps probably has to do a lot with the rise of lonely single men. Men are not just lonely when it comes to dating, they're lonely when it comes to friendship too. According to
that
Vox,
one got me confused.
Americans are currently in a friendship recession, and men are being hit the hardest. The percentage of men who reported having at least 6 close friendships fell in half since the 90s. 1 in 5 men say they have no close friendships. Looking at all these statistics, the explosion of figures like Andrew Tate is not surprising at all.
I believe being a man is a blessing because it starts so difficult. I believe that every man is born without any value at all. I think that the world's never going to think you're important unless you make yourself important.
And recently,
I feel like that's a fucked up way to go about it. I think anyone and everyone has to kind of give value to themselves and not, like, fully seek. I think it's unhealthy to fully seek out your value from other people giving it to you. Honestly, I think every single person should get therapy. I don't even think it should be like when crisis happens. I think it should just be normalized, because not every person is gonna have everything in order and have exactly, what they want. So getting a third party, not involved advice from a professional is just good.
A few months ago, during one of the monthly song and dances, some progressive people I follow made the mistake of addressing men's issues, and the even bigger mistake of pointing their finger at their own spaces.
The reason young men flock to, I don't even know what that means, is because the left gives. We need to be more. I'm gonna be real. I'm good with politics
to address said men's issues.
With left and right. I always forget.
There were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating that men are the loneliest generation, and addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women.
No,
but it does mean that we should be focused on what it is in society that is leading to this epidemic, what the left can do to offer solutions, and how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void that men are struggling with, people like Jordan Peterson and what have you. Now, recently, Vosh, who's a popular
biking in front of you. wasn't shouting at you. You made your point. Bro, I would appreciate that. I just said that I barely see other human faces.
Streamer had tweeted this thread that I think is really, really important to address. He writes, I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't.
The responses to these tweets and this content were very normal, level-headed, and respectful. Me when I lie. LMAO, cry about it. Boo f***ing who? Oh no, poor widow men having problems. Boo f***ing who? Grow the f*** up then. Have men considered being smarter? I'm enjoying all these sad little moids and their sad little tweets about their sad, pathetic lives. Sounds like
I knew I was gonna get mad. I knew I was gonna get mad. I knew I was gonna get
Tumblr feminists who were like, all men are sexist and male tears. Penises are evil, blah blah blah, back in the day. Well, this is them now. Should've just let me cook back then.
Let me cook. Let her cook.
I'm white, socially awkward, autistic, in my 40s, ugly, overweight, crippled, got a weird balding pattern, and have bad skin. You know what I didn't do? Choose to become a fascist. Because I recognize most of the sort that look like me are the problem. I may be hideously ugly and pathetic, but at least I'm not a fascist. Thank you for your input, buddy. You're, really helping the situation.
Jesus
Christ.
The
reason young men flock to alt-right MRA movements is because the left gives brain-dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them, for our own sake. Men flock to the MRA movement because they're the largest beneficiaries of MRA shit. Imagine saying women flock to women's rights activism
from helping
because
men.
They're the biggest beneficiaries.
Yeah, we really deviated. I don't even... They've really derailed the conversation to the point where my brain is like, what the f***? My brain is like...
Why does the well-being of other people concern me? Leftist, by the way. It's all systemic issues and societal factors and blah 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 until it's a man and then suddenly it's pull yourselves up by your boots.
Jesus Christ. It feels like everyone knows, but no one talks about it. Misogyny. Yeah, that's super fucked up. Like, you can talk about a point without putting someone else down, right? You can compliment someone or recognize someone's like difficulties without it automatically being like Late was saying the other day. Oh, I like X. And then someone goes, oh, how dare you say that Y is... It's like, no! What it's worth, Twitter randos are not representative of average normal people. I really fucking hope so. See, this is what I worry about, that they are normal average people that keep these thoughts and live by these rules in their minds, but only spout about it online, right? I really care about women and the shit they go through, but I also acknowledge and care about what men go through. Yes, this is valid. We should be able to state and care about both.
Just a consequence of the patriarchy. Now take a wild guess about which gender created the patriarchy. Solve your own problems and leave women alone. These people rightly mock the bootstraps rhetoric until the subject is a man, and then it's bootstraps all the way down. They would never talk about any other group this way. It's wild. And it's kind of like both sides are telling men to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but one is like, I'll show you how, and the other is like, fuck off. And when they're not telling men to straight up fuck off, they're giving the 200 IQ answer that nobody has ever heard before. Just show your emotions, bro. And I'm not dismissing this problem, okay?
Jesus
I've
Christ.
made videos talking about this. Oh, you're crying at your grandfather's
I'm thirsty,
funeral?
yeah.
Okay, and studies have shown that men are scared to be vulnerable, even around the homies. And can you blame them when the media says stupid like this? Fellas, is it woke to open up to your fellow men and discuss history? Men are socialized to believe strength, dominance, and stoicism are behaviors of a real man.
It makes me really mad.
Is it any surprise that men are lonely and have less friends nowadays? You have to be vulnerable to make friends. Don't tell me there aren't systemic problems affecting men. Now, while a lot of this may be true, men have been socialized this way for centuries, and this is all relatively a new phenomenon. Toxic masculinity has existed forever. I think there's less toxic masculinity nowadays. The cultural embrace of, like, gender nonconformity, femboys, Harry Styles in a dress, Barbie movie, blah, 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 blah. My point is, toxic masculinity did not just appear in the mid-2010s, but social media did, and the internet did, and the rise of dating apps did, and the housing crisis, and living in a country where the wealth inequality is worse than it was during the Gilded Age. That all happened recently. Oh my god, the privileged life these poor little boys must have, that their biggest problem is being lonely, i.e. so insufferable that nobody wants to sleep with them. So much more pressing than the poor distribution of wealth causing people to suffer food and housing insecurity. Boo-hoo!
Come on, we need to be comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges. This is fucking weird. It is. Okay, not comparing people to animals, but if you even look at some animals that are social, they will pass from being alone. It's not something that has never happened before. Loneliness is seriously a huge concern, and I knew it was gonna upset some of the homies because I'm sure it is something that everyone goes through, and I don't like reminding people, but I think it is important that we at least talk about it to some capacity, because people apparently aren't talking about it and taking it seriously, and they don't realize that there are people out there who are like, hey, no, this is valid. You should get the things you deserve. You should feel like, get happiness. You shouldn't feel loneliness. You should be able to express the fucking bare minimum. People are shutting down the bare minimum, and that trips me out. The more we talk about it, the more we can fix the situation. Yes. I really want, yes, normalize giving a shit. Yes, check in on your friends. I don't care if it's a dude, a chick, just like check in on your friends, dude. Have a talk. I really need people to allow guys to be more emotional, like from a starting point. Do not put it down. Do not say boo-hoo, get over it. Like, we need to learn to socialize and verbalize. Because I've seen too many times that, like, even if the homies know what they need, they can't verbalize it.
Lonely and have no friends and suicidal because feeling alienated under capitalism apparently isn't a thing. People are working harder and longer while wages have been stagnant. Men have been dropping out of college like flies. And what does that get you? Poor men. Which, since women are doing amazing in college now, and many are out-earning men, this most of the time leads to single men, which then leads to lonely men, which leads to depressed men, which
You'd be shocked how much a simple, hey, how you doing, can do someone who needs it, right?
Which leads to the high suicide rate. In my opinion, leftism at a policy level does a great job addressing the shitty material conditions that in part lead to the problems that men are facing, but then absolutely drops the ball when it comes to everything and anything related to men's cultural issues. Many such cases. And why would a struggling man even want to move left when the left appears actively hostile to them?
The question of whether or not the hashtag online left does enough to appeal to hashtag men has become the question du jour. And like, men have most of the money, authority, and do most of the murdering and assaulting.
The average young man in America isn't Jeff Bezos. Also, why did this motherfucker just FBI crime statistics at me?
That was really weird. Yeah, what the
She's on to me. Most murder. Okay?
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve. They like that. They want it to stay that way because it suits them. Because of the stuff, telling people they're special and deserve all the nice shit that they have, that's going to be an easier sell 10 times out of 10 than like saying, hey, maybe you should have less stuff and other people should have more.
Leftism is when you don't have a lot of stuff. We're going to take your stuff. You sound like a 65-year-old Fox News boomer's idea of what the left is. Are you a CIA agent? The right is saying to men, you will own a house. You will have beautiful children with your loving wife. You will have privacy. You will have free speech.
No way.
You will own things.
Has anyone here read the book 1984? I haven't either. I know the synopsis and I still gotta read it. Actually, it's one of the enjoyable things I plan to do on my week off. Privacy is not a thing. When she said privacy, that was where my brain went. I plan to read whenever I feel like it. Yes,
I
really want to read.
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
But don't get me wrong, Republicans will not do shit. The Republican Party will not do shit. The establishment in general will not do shit to help any of this. But the right is, at least rhetorically, offering men something other than nothing or the eternal HR department. Every time this Discord comes up, there's people like, we need a leftist Andrew Tate. We need masculine role models on the left. But the fact is, it's hard for progressives to organically appeal to men, because a large part of progressivism is oppressive hierarchies, and men are oppressors. Making progressivism look appealing to young men is an uphill battle from the start. And although it's funny to laugh at insane people on Twitter, as always, there have been a lot of left-wing content creators talking about men's issues. If you—
Wait, what? What's this about a YouTube idea? Wait, what? Spicy. YouTube idea, May reading 1984 to us. Is it considered public domain at this point? I'm sorry, but the bad makeup on the guy makes it hard for me to take him seriously. Yeah, if he at least did it good. His lipstick's a bit slipping. Thanks for signing in, Koneko. What I was saying earlier,
you would have told me this would be a thing 9 years ago, I would not believe you, because anyone talking about men's issues back in the day was called an MRA or a pick-me. But lately I have seen a lot of good pro-men lefty content, and I'll put some links to some below. I don't agree with all the points they say, but I recommend watching. It's much better than—
there's
having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
But the issue is a lot of this lefty pro-men content, it's always framed around, how do we get them? As if men are just pawns and tools for their personal politics. How do we make the left more appealing to men? How do we stop lonely men from moving to Andrew Tate? Instead of just, how do we help men? Both sides seem to treat men as political fodder. Disposable soldiers in the culture war and real war.
Yeah,
nobody told me how lonely being a man is. We knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to have people want to hug us and to have people want to us and to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. What's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid, but I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men.
This isn't like, this isn't what, like, it's not when you fucking bring up a point, you're not invalidating other points.
And here's your complimentary isolation and yellow pillow. I love how even when he's experiencing the issues of being a man, he's like, this doesn't invalidate people being men.
It me up.
Come on, bro. Men struggling don't want to be lectured about the patriarchy. They don't want to be told it's all their fault. They don't want to be told they're part of the problem, because first of all,
fine, right?
They're not. The average 20-year-old didn't build society. They go to work, come home, off to sissy hypno fetish porn, and go to bed like everyone else. I've talked about this before, but a lot of men's value comes from the money they make, unfortunately. Men are natural providers, and if they have nobody to provide for, they get into findom or send random girls on the internet money. I'm just kidding, but the fact is, a lot of men simply feel like they don't have a purpose anymore. Whether a job or a career that's fulfilling and pays well, or a woman or family to protect.
The reality is, how many people actually have these high-paying jobs that we all hear about? The 1%? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Yes, have the conversation when you're getting into a relationship about things like finances. It is important, but do not be your only standard of, oh, your boyfriend is only good enough if he makes 6 figures. Excuse me? What the actual fuck is wrong with you? Yes, someone whose personality and who has morals that you can align with, etc. Like, not like there's so many steps before that. Okay, 6 fingers, no, but how about 6 chicken fingers? Yeah.
Men are lacking purpose, and a man will crawl through broken glass for a purpose. But you know who does make them feel like they have a purpose?
Hey, yo?
No, not
hey.
Him.
I say that life as a man is exceptionally difficult. I say the most beautiful and the most terrifying thing about being a man is you're born without value. Society doesn't care about you.
The absolute audacity to act shocked that Andrew Tate is scooping these guys up.
I'm not shocked.
Of low male.
If someone came to me and was like, I understand that your shit is difficult, then it feels like poking at someone's vulnerability, validating it, but also doing it in such a way that you're hitting on someone else. From what I'm learning about him, I don't know shit about this guy.
Andrew Tate isn't the solution to men's problems, but he is talking to them. The fact is, you did not care about them for years, and even now you just want to recruit them, not help them.
Yeah.
And that's why you will fail. And hey, maybe I'll be the Andrew Tate of the left. Men, listen up. Wash your penis. So I'll leave you guys with a question. Why do you
I'm gonna say I like to assume the best. Please do.
think male loneliness has been increasing? What are your solutions for this problem?
Treat people how you want to be treated. To all the guys, please know you are enough. You don't have to earn 6 figures to be valid. You are worth it. And also, like she said, clean your just this was a very hard video for me, and I knew it was going to be hard because of things that I've learned long ago, and I knew I was going to get mad. And you don't have to one thing to talk about another, and I really hope the people on the internet learn that one day. Maybe only God knows. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much to this month's patrons. You guys are seriously the best. If anyone else would like to be
immortalized
into this video, please consider checking out my Patreon, and here are my other socials. Thank you, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.